everybody, my name is Jane and I'm so happy to see you again on our YouTube channel. You know, when it comes to teaching kids, perfect knowledge of the language isn't enough to become a good teacher. That's why today we are going to talk about different games and activities for kindergarten. And after watching this video, you will know different things how to entertain your young learners, because speaking tasks and grammar exercises don't make any sense if they are not accompanied by playing games. But before we start, I would like to tell you that I'm recording this video for TEFL TESOL certification.com. Alphabet Songs is an obvious start of your course with kids who cannot pronounce some letters and sounds in English. Needless to say that rhyme can help to learn and memorize information faster. However, remember that knowing all letters in English alphabet isn't an objective of your English classes. What is more important that children understand and differ some sounds and words that can start with the same letter. There are a lot of such songs on YouTube. So write some simple words to each letter of the alphabet on a board and make students repeat after you. Then change the game rules, where students have to recall some words which starts from the letter that you show. There is an interesting game with flashcards that you can use in your English classes. It's quite flexible and adaptive, and fortunately, it suits almost all vocabulary topics. So if you want to teach new vocabulary, you can show cards one by one. However, there is one more interesting way. For example, if today's lesson is about animals, start telling a story about all characters of a farm or a forest and make some pauses to let your students to fill them in with a particular animal on the card. If you want to revise vocabulary about animals, you can show cards to your students and everyone must say some facts about an animal on a card. Don't forget to prepare some small gifts to encourage your students to compete a bit. What is missing? It's a good way how to conduct a lesson about parts of the body, face features, or rooms. You can use ESL flashcards or choose some relevant photos on the internet. Also show all your cards to your students and say that they have only 10 seconds to memorize everything that they see. When the time is over, ask your students to close their eyes and hide one photo while they don't see. And when the list of things appears again, there will be one missing card that your students must identify and name. As children love to move, you can have a short, useful break during a lesson. As soon as you teach colors, use everything in a classroom as a vocabulary game. When you say a phrase like find something blue or whatever color you name, students should find the color in a classroom and point it out. And they can find everything, a spot on a t-shirt, pencil, and other things. What is more important that they have to identify the color as soon as possible. Another game about colors is Guess the Color. However, in comparison with the previous activity, it has an opposite objective. For example, instead your students name all colors in the picture, you show black and white pictures, and students have to guess what colors must be there. Grammar is already included in all vocabulary topics in children's course, in order to help young learners to produce not only phrases but also sentences. And when it comes to teaching grammar, children don't care the meaning of prepositions and how to use present simple. Children learn through conversational patterns, lexical approach, and games. That's why you should think in advance how you are going to combine two similar topics in order to help your students to train all productive skills. For example, if you're gonna teach rooms and things there, include prepositions of place in your lesson plan. Show a picture for 10 seconds and ask students to memorize everything in the picture. Then hide the picture and ask your students to recall all things and their positions in the picture. There is another fun game in English that doesn't require preparation at all, in order to help your young learners to increase their vocabulary and use grammar correctly. Implement it when you teach names of animals. Discuss and show what each animal can and cannot do. And if you want to make this game a little bit more difficult, you can make some examples, but not saying a name of an animal. For example, you can say, it can fly but cannot swim. What is it? The most difficult thing in English that the majority of people has difficulties with is the verb to be. And if adolescents can understand the meaning of it, children couldn't care less. That's why the best way to help them to get used to it is repetition. This game is supposed to help your young learners to talk about emotions and feelings in English. Prepare some flashcards with facial expressions and people's emotions and ask some questions with basic adjectives. Ask yes or no questions accompanied by a picture with some feelings. So your students have to answer either yes I am or no I am not. And for example, you can ask, are you tired? Showing a picture where a person smiles. It's not a secret that some kids have difficulties and problems to pronounce the time even in their mother tongue. That's why we've created a new version of a typical game. What time is it? So draw some watches and times in advance and give such cards to your students. Then choose the first host who is supposed to stand in front of the class and write down the time that he has on his card. You can check students' comprehension with different ways. For example, you can draw the time like 7:30 and a student must say 7:30 or vice versa. When your students have enough vocabulary to talk about furniture, fruits, vegetables, and animals, you can conduct a revision game. Prepare some baskets, and the amount of those depend on the number of categories that you want to have. So categories might be different: food, jobs, animals, and etc. Also, you need to prepare some small pieces of paper and write down relevant words to each category on them. Also, ask your students to move quickly and choose one card and to run to a certain basket to put a word in it. Jobs is one of the basic topics in English, and also it's a good way to conduct a role-play game and introduction game as well. Also, you need to write down all professions on stickers and give them to your students. The kids have to explain what they do according to their profession on the card. For example, if the word is chef, a child may say, I cook food or I make dinner. Also, you can change the rules of the game and explain different professions in English, where students have to listen to you carefully and guess what you mean. Parts of the body might be an interesting and funny game if we add some physical work. So everyone must close eyes while you as a host give instructions what to do. For example, raise your right hand or jump on your left leg. And also you should observe everyone's results and pay attention to those children who couldn't figure it out quickly. Also, you can use this game in terms of imperative verbs. When you start teaching road signs or popular phrases, your students will recognize this grammar pattern. There is another ESL activity that you can use in your class, because learning new words might be boring sometimes. The main and important rule of this game is to use only nouns. So you need to choose a topic that you want your class to work on and give cards to your students. Explain them, they must show the words on their cards. And by the way, that's a good way how you can help your students to recall new words that they've learned recently. When we teach imperative verbs, it's also essential to draw on students' attention to politeness. And the ESL activity, Simon says, it's a good way to make your students get used to saying please. So you as a Simon should speak quickly and check students' reaction to your words. So the point is to say random instructions, whereas your class must react and do what you say only when they hear the word please. It doesn't take much time, however, everyone will love such an active break. To be honest, hot potato game is so convenient that you can adapt it to any topic every time when you have no idea what to do with your ESL kindergarten. Turn music on and warn your students that nobody will be able to pass a hot potato when music stops. Start passing a hot potato around the class, showing some emotions that a potato is real. It makes your students feel excitement too. And a person who holds potato when music stops must do the task, and it depends on the topic that you have chosen. So your tasks for kindergarten might be say 3 red vegetables or name 5 favorite animals. So we know some interactive activities that help to train speaking and vocabulary. However, what about listening? So the quiz takes some time and preparation, but believe me, the result is worth it. Make 10 questions to a topic that you would like to have a revision on, and encourage your little students to participate by some rewards. Ask questions and give some options to answer, especially if you see that kids hesitate. As your little students already know such topics, it won't take so much time to answer these questions. However, it might be a little bit complicated task because of listening practice. Anyway, you can stress some words and even show gestures to help your kindergarten kids to understand you. Young generation is better at technology than we. That's why your kindergarten kids will be amused by this ESL game. So start a new message in a chat on your phone and make a list of emojis and try to place them in order that seems to be someone's day in life. If you teach offline, print it out, but if you work online, share this picture on the screen. This is a great idea how to demonstrate household chores and daily routine. So firstly, teach phrases and words according to each emoji and then assign students to match small images with such phrases. Once students know all necessary vocabulary, get rid of prompts and phrases and show only emoji in a particular order. The point is to make a story about one day in somebody's life, and each kid makes only one sentence according to his turn and emoji. Today we've discussed so many activities and games that you can use to entertain kids in kindergarten. Also, as you understand, it takes much work to create a worth lesson and to make students interested and happy. Teaching English includes so many things. To make instructions clear and precise, to be sure that everybody understands what to do, to check difficulties that class faces during a lesson, and to change and adapt activities every time when students get bored or have some difficulties. You can change and adapt all games that we've discussed today depending on the topic that you teach. And there is only one principle to teach children: make them curious. Try to become students' friend, but stick to your guns as an adult and a teacher. Whether you have teaching experience or not, it might be difficult to catch students' attention and to make them listen to you. TEFL TESOL courses provide knowledge on how to react on students' offense and how to give them positive but an honest feedback. Also, there are so many materials that you can use in your ESL classes, whether you work online or offline. And after a TEFL TESOL course, you won't be surprised by kids' behavior or expressions, and you will always know what to do. Enroll in online TEFL TESOL course to become high qualified English teacher in a couple of months. And go to our homepage TEFLTESOLcertification.com to get a course program and start your professional development with a 50% discount. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you will implement all of these games to teach your kindergarten students. Also, don't forget to subscribe and leave your questions in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you the next time. Have a good day.